Okay, so apparently it just started. Let's jump into this immediately. This is a suggestion via Discord. I had about 40 of you guys send this to me within like the last minute, so let's check it out. Let's do it.
This is a Fox News alert. News from the President of the United States that there has been an attack inside Iran. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump putting out on Truth Social, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Okay. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Again, this from President Donald Trump. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. Right. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Again, that's just seconds ago from President Donald Trump on Truth Social, suggesting that those B-2 bombers that perhaps were on the way may have been behind this. We'll get more details on these 3 sites that the president said has been attacked inside Iran. This comes after days of negotiations to try to get Iran to the negotiating table. The President of the United States saying it would have to be unconditional surrender, saying enrichment would have to stop. We heard from negotiations in Europe that that was not being accepted by the Iranians, that they would not stop enriching uranium. There was a thought that this could go as long as 2 weeks, as the President said he would decide within 2 weeks.
He said that on purpose, though, bro.
However, 2 days is within 2 weeks. And now word from President Donald Trump that these attacks have happened. Again, interesting that 3 sites have been struck by U.S.
Let's grab
bombers.
some secondary information.
And this, again, we'll get more information about the exact targets and what bombs were used. We expect that the GBU-57, the bunker buster, the massive penetrator bomb, may have been one of those used. Fordow is a nuclear facility inside Iran that is roughly a half-mile deep underneath a rock mountain-like facility that has been said to be the site of a lot of the enrichment capability. Esfahan, believed to be a storage facility for enriched uranium, and Natanz, another part of the nuclear facilities. They have several throughout Iran. It has been long described as a very difficult and tedious effort to go after these nuclear sites, but the U.S., for the first time, launching an attack inside Iran. Again, the President of the United States saying all of the planes are out of Iranian airspace. The bombings do continue by the Israelis inside Iran as this back-and-forth volley between Israel and Iran has continued for some 2 weeks. We expect to hear more about this operation, not only from the Pentagon, but perhaps from the White House, although the White House this evening, has called a lid, as far as meaning no one will talk after that. That may be changing now. Obviously, we have this Truth Social post from President Donald Trump.
Okay, guys, hold on. We're going to go ahead and see if we can actually find kind of anything else on this. This is absolutely intriguing, guys. So we've definitely been following this story for a while now, and I'm definitely glad that hopefully this is over. I'm not sure what else can come next after this, because the United States of America getting involved in something like this is absolutely wild. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. It's everywhere right now, guys. Whoa. What's this here? Geez, guys. What is this here? Hold on.
The International Atomic Energy Agency, or the IAEA, reported today that Friday's airstrikes launched by Israel at different Iranian nuclear energy sites appeared to have damaged the underground enrichment tunnels at the largest facility. One of Israel's stated goals for the current missile wave is to destroy Iran's nuclear capacity to prevent it from creating a nuclear weapon. Currently in Iran, there are 7 sites engaged in nuclear research, enrichment or providing power.
Wait a second,
of
guys.
those, Fordow has attracted the most attention because it is estimated to be between 260 and 300 feet underground. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, which protects it from most air attacks, Fordow is the smaller of the two nuclear enrichment facilities.
Okay, guys, so unfortunately, that is not the video. I'm trying to go through some of the links that you guys have sent me because we need to make sure that
we're coming on the air at this hour because we have breaking news. President Trump has just announced on social media that the U.S. has just completed 3 successful attacks on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. This is the post that he put out just a short time ago. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That statement from President Trump right there, if you'll remember, he gave a 2-week deadline for him to consider whether or not he was going to use those bunker-busting bombs on that Iranian nuclear site. And now the president making that decision tonight and following through. Let's go ahead and bring in our Rachel Scott, our White House correspondent, who's been following all of this very closely. Rachel, we know that the president was meeting with his national security team tonight, and it seems like they had big plans and followed through.
This comes after a series of meetings that the president has had with his national security team in the Situation Room, in which the president was really mulling over this decision of whether the United States should get directly involved. I will tell you, the president really warming up to this idea, especially over the last several days. I spoke to him by phone just 1 week ago. At that point, he told me that it's possible that the United States could get it right now. That is the realm of possible. Still looking for an addict approach. Time for Iran. Come to the make aid. And then we remarkable turn president heading to the summit.
Forgive me if we could, Rachel, forgive me if we could pause for a moment because we're having some trouble with your cell phone reception. We'll try to come back to you in just a minute there. I'm being told that we do have someone else on the phone with us. Molly, could you repeat that? General Abrams is joining us now on the phone. General, obviously this news is just coming in. We knew this is something that the president was considering. He was meeting with his top national security officials tonight. But he did give that 2-week time period that he was going to consider all of this. What do you think changed?
Well,
guys,
with it, I think
he never was given
him 2 weeks. The president preserved all options. And by putting a 2-week timeline on, he probably intentionally gave the Iranians sort of a feel that they had time to sort of gather themselves and get.
Yeah, guys, I think if you were even like the slightest bit intelligent, you would know that he was just talking. Let's just be completely honest here. That was him just talking. In no way was he giving them 2 weeks.
Their defense, which really provided an opportunity for our Air Force crews, our air crews, to have the element of surprise. And so they were able to get in and get out, as reported by the president, safely, which we're all very thankful for. And we're going to have to wait a couple of days to see how much success they had.
All right, General, thank you so much. We'll try to check back with you in just a moment, but I do want to get to our Ian panel, who's been following all of this very closely. Ian, I believe you are still there on the ground in Israel. What can you tell us about what you're learning?
Yeah, this is a major event. I mean, we have been speaking to Israeli officials over the last few days, and they were certainly making it clear to us that this 2-week window that had been set up by President Trump was unrealistic. Right. One official said to me, without agreeing to be quoted, they felt that it was going to be much quicker than that. Remember, they have hit a number of facilities across Iran. It's now 10 days since the first bombs were dropped by Israel on Iran. But the difficulty was this one particular facility at Fordow. It's buried deep inside a mountain, and it was felt that Israel, in fact no other nation, would have the necessary ordnance nor the aircraft capable of carrying out a mission that would be capable of destroying that. Now, we have to wait and see a bomb damage assessment, see how successful it's been. Nevertheless, we were reporting and we're hearing that U.S. stealth bombers have been moved closer to the area, to Diego Garcia, which is it's owned by Mauritius. It's got a British base there, and that has been the base in the Indian Ocean that would allow American bombers to be within much closer striking distance to Iran. And as the president has said, it looks like the U.S. bombers have taken place. So as we were reporting again, it was the likely the B-2 stealth bombers, which is the only bomber in the world that's capable of carrying these MOPs, these massive ordnance projectiles, these very heavy bombs.
30,000 pounds.
But what makes them specific is they're able to dig into the ground. In other words, they don't explode the second they touch the ground. They physically dig down into the land and then detonate. And because the depth of Fordow was so deep, it was felt that this was needed. Now, Israeli officials have been making clear to me that if President Trump decided not to act or delayed his decision, that they would act anyway. And we have to wait and hear from Israeli officials what their role in this is. It is possible, of course, that this would be a one-off strike. I think that's less likely. It could be part of a complex of military action, not necessarily all strikes, perhaps something on the ground. There've been intelligence gathering about this facility.
Yeah, guys, hold on. I absolutely do not think we're going to get onto the ground, right? Not specifically. I think if someone needs to get onto the ground, it should probably be Israel. If we did this here, please let's not involve ourselves too much more than this, even though I do think that we're probably now officially 1,000 million % involved in this now, specifically if we bring out B2s and MOPs and then drop them basically from our mesosphere, basically. I think we're probably in it now. We're in it. We're officially there. If you wanted to know, is it going to be the end of things? Not at all. This isn't over. It just now got worse for Iran. Officially, we definitely need to see some images or get some insight on exactly how successful this all was. I cannot wait for that information so we can kind of so I can finally get some sleep at night, because I'm sitting here wondering, like, guys, what are we gonna do? What's happening here? Okay, so we did this. But we definitely need to now know exactly how much we actually did, guys. All right. But listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe, and of course we will in fact follow this story, guys. All right. Catch you guys later.